But he is the ambassador to Katy
I am the self-proclaimed ambassador to all things Katy Perry. So love you, Katy Perry, if you ever come across this.
All right, you guys. Welcome to Overanalyze.
Hi. Here we are.
Yes, media news for November 14th.
Which is so crazy. I'm like, oh my God, it's mid-November.
Somebody told me, they were like, oh, Thanksgiving's coming. I was like, it's like 2 weeks away. And they were like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh. Like,
I know, but yeah, it is. Then it'll be like 1 week. And then Black Friday and then December. It's very crazy how it's going fast.
So half of my timeline is like, we're all agreeing that we're just having spaghetti for Thanksgiving, right? Nobody has money. Like, I'm not trying to come to your house and you got 3 turkeys. And I was like, that's not kind of fair.
I would make chicken breast. I always make Lucy a Thanksgiving dinner. It's always like chicken breast, I believe. I don't really eat. I don't make turkey.
Yeah. I like leftovers. My husband does not. So I would literally make I wouldn't even make a turkey breast. We would make something else, some kind of different protein.
Yeah.
And then mashed potatoes and gravy because he loves mashed potatoes and gravies. And then my daughter will have like a fruit plate. Like, I can't make a big spread because nobody's going to eat it but me.
Yeah. That almost makes no sense.
And but I mean, like, he won't even take like leftovers from a restaurant. He does not fuck with leftovers.
Really? It depends on what it is for me. But I mean, in general, I like leftovers.
But we're getting better at ordering because it was just our anniversary and we went to dinner with the baby and we went to the Eagle. And like, we ate everything we ordered. I was like, oh, we're getting it down to a science. Like, no excess. Okay, sustainability queen. All right. So, you guys, I am at home and Dom is at home and I miss you.
I know.
But schedules got scheduled.
We're busy.
And we had to switch it up. So, hey.
It works.
Big news.
Mm-hmm.
Selena Gomez, her show Only Murders in the Building was just renewed for a 6th season, which means that I can watch it now because I don't watch a show unless there's 3 seasons. And they've won like so many awards. Like, and I didn't even know this until I was looking it up for today's show. Awards for like outstanding comedy and like outstanding lead in a comedy. I thought it was like definitely a suspense show. So now I kind of want to go watch it because I didn't know that it was a comedy.
I've never watched it. I mean, Steve Martin and Martin Short, that's his name. That's
there
it.
You go.
I remember that show when it first came out, and it was going to be the 3 of I was like, Selena Gomez?
I know. Yeah.
And it's lasting this long. So clearly it's something there. It's acclaimed. Like,
people love it.
Clearly,
it has so many awards.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I mean, I love that for them. I knew she's really leaning into her acting again. And obviously, Rare Beauty is such a popular brand.
Yeah.
Love you, Selena Gomez.
Bravocon is this weekend.
Yes, it sure is. I have so much FOMO. I think we're going to do a special edition episode of just a Bravocon recap. I had FOMO, then I'm like, darn. And then now it's Bravocon week, and I'm listening to all my Bravo podcasts and Sirius XM channels that I listen to, and they're all talking about the housewives, this and that. And I'm like, shit, there is a part of me that feels genuinely sad that I'm not going this year. I've only been once, and I was like a kid in a candy store. Like, imagine like taking a 5-year-old to like Toys R Us, but like in the 90s when it was like everything. That was me at BravoCon. I'm like, oh my God, all these like, oh my God. So I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of major Bravo announcements. I've been reading some like Bravo like content creators that have like predictions. The ones that I think are going to happen are we're going to get a Real Housewives of Rhode Island cast announcement and like a teaser of some sort. Like they did that when they recasted Real Housewives of New York, when they fired the whole cast and they redid the whole show. Wow. They brought out the new cast at BravoCon, the year that I went, actually. So I think we're going to get that. I think there's going to be stuff with Orange County. Vicky Gunvalson, I think, will make a grand return for season 20. So fun fact, so Orange County, started Housewives, the very first one, and they'll be going into their 20th season.
Wow.
Next year. So it's 20 years of Housewives. So I think Bravo's all going to do like something very special next year for 20 years of Housewives.
Didn't their trailer just come out or something?
No, they're in season right now. So they're doing so they just released last week the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer.
There you go.
And it looks so good. I'm so excited. So excited. But so we'll do a special episode of a BravoCon recap of all the things. Now, we'll do it in the beginning of next week when we know like all the dust has settled. We know all the announcements. And you'll hear my like Glee and Bravo geekiness come out. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen. So like, I mean, I'm still manifesting for us. The more we talk about Housewives, but like, so they have panels, right? It's just like any other, like those like,
conference. Yeah.
is that what it stands for when they have like
Yeah.
blank con?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like any others. They have panels. Usually, like every Housewives franchise.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, and I apologize for cutting you off. I used to work with personal finance coaches and would get them on FinCon, which is a big financial conference. This means they must have an application process, and we can say, we have 75 episodes of this show. Put us on
Good point.
panel.
That's a good point. I don't know how that works. I assumed because they have, because with all the panels, they have, typically it's creators and some like random like former Bravo stars have hosted them, but oftentimes like there's several like Bravo content creators that I watch that podcasts and all that kind of stuff that are hosting they will host the panels. So they'll do like ones for the actual franchises or other like Below Deck and all that kind of stuff. And they have ones that they're like themed. Like there's like I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically they'll have a group of Bravo stars that are good at like reads. So they'll like talk about people like who know how to throw shade and give a good read. Angie is on that one from Salt Lake City. She'll be on that one. So I love all that, but they're hosted a lot of times by content creators. And so I'm like, listen, I'm manifesting. Like, we're gonna get tapped by Bravo. We can host a panel someday. So like, I'm so excited. You should see me at Bravocon. I'm like, we should start saving our money now, and we'll go next year if they have one next year. Because it's usually in Vegas, I guess. I went when it was in New York, but so we'll do like a special episode where we'll recap and talk about all things Bravocon, and I'm super excited.
Yes, because I am still pretty much a newbie, and so you'll be like, "Oh my God, I saw this! Oh my God, I saw this!" And I'll be like, "Oh, what is that?"
Atlanta and all that kind of stuff. So it's like
I do, yeah.
You're not too far off, but like we got you sucked into Salt Lake City, and so now they have Beverly Hills. Speaking of Beverly Hills, I did stop at one of my favorite bookstores today, looking for a particular book they did not have, but I'm skimming through and I saw Bose's book, and I almost bought it, but I was like, I don't want to spend $30 today on a book that I have 18 others to read. But I do have a whole Housewives section of all memoirs from Housewives, but I do want to read it because I love her and her story, and I'm a huge fan of hers.
It's really good. It's very heavy. It's like
I figured.
I like to sit down and read a book for a couple hours. It's like 45 minutes, get up and go do something.
Really? I take a break.
Yeah,
I figured because just knowing her background and that she shared on the show, at least.
Yeah.
I figured like her, obviously her husband who passed, and I mean, now we can go right into the Beverly Hills trailer, obviously, but she is such a figure that I find incredibly fascinating, just because not only her career, but her intelligence, her wit, her creativity, her ability to storytell, which is quite clear to me, like why she's a brilliant marketer, because she knows how to tell a story. She's so smart, but she has depth. And when I listen to I've listened to so many different interviews that she's done, and I could just listen to her like talk for like hours. I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah. She's awesome. I think I'm excited for Bravocon because I know that you've gone before, but I didn't even realize it was to the extent where like they're going to be streaming it, like sections of it and segments of
on
it.
BravoTV.com, you can watch it.
Yeah.
And then they have like at night, because they do Watch What Happens Live, but they do so it's actually really fun. So like they have, obviously, I can't remember where it's hosted. I'm blanking on which big resort hotel they're doing it at, but they get one of the theaters, and they do Watch What Happens Live with, you can buy an extra, like I think it comes with the VIP ticket when you purchase them. You get to have access. There's all these different levels. You can do 1-day pass, 3-day pass. There's a VIP where you can go to the Watch What Happens Live tapings. But one of the favorite things I cannot wait is they do every year is called Smash the Beef. So Bravo will pick, and they don't know who but they put it on this, like, you see, this is when I really geek out. Like I have goosebumps right now, where they put all the housewives and like random other Bravo stars on the stage, and they're all kind of sitting there like on bleachers almost, right? And they do a squash the beef, so they all watch a screen, and it looks like a slot machine. You see it go by, and they just pick two random, but obviously.
Yeah.
And they do a squash the beef, and you'll see like two housewives from different places go at it about a beef that they have, and we watch it live. And sometimes it gets really like shady, and it's good. Like it is so campy and amazing and good. So they do those at night, And those will eventually air on Bravo, I think like a week later.
Okay.
They don't stream that specifically.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's live either on like Bravo on the actual network. And then they have the Bravos, which is like the award show. The Lifetime Achievement Award, because that's so campy and amazing. And Vicky Gunvalson from the Real Housewives of Orange County got it the very first time. So this year, this is the second time they're presenting it. And it is going, you said her name earlier, it's going to Miss Kandi Burress.
Wow.
Who is just queen all day.
All day. So season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta just ended, but was Kandi in it at all?
Nope, that was her first season, not on the show. Yeah.
So a super Lifetime achievement.
Yeah. And she is just like, she is very interesting. Apparently she closed all her restaurants. I think all but like one is still open in Atlanta. But I think last year, I want to say she was nominated for a Tony because her and her husband produced, was it The Wiz that was on Broadway? I want to say that she was on the production team and I got nominated. Either it was last year or the year before, but I love her. I love learning like all the music that she's written in the past.
Yeah.
People that.
And the royalties she continues to get.
Let's say
decades after writing
she gets
a song.
all that money, honey. So I'm really happy for her. So I can't wait to see her get that. And what surprises happened this weekend?
I know. I'm excited to see that.
The mid-season trailer also came out for Salt Lake, which looks.
It was too short.
I know. Well, it's so good. I'm like.
It's so good.
I know. I'm like, damn. I just want just give me the whole fucking thing because I want it all. But that's what I had for Housewives.
So a former housewife.
Oh.
Not really. Kim Kardashian
was
supposed to pass the bar exam or be admitted to the bar exam. And unfortunately, she did not earn enough points to be admitted to the California bar. And so that is ironic because her show playing a divorced lawyer called All's Fair is out and it's getting 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I've heard mixed reviews. Most of the people I've heard say that she only stands out because she's literally surrounded by people who are award-winning actresses. And so when you have been awarded for melting into the role so well that we don't even notice you, you're gonna stand out for not having those same qualifications. But I've also heard, it's got 3 million views, so people are watching it. They're not really excited to look beyond the 3 seasons or the 3 episodes that they released. So, yeah.
So apparently, I'm gonna bring up this article from Deadline. They say so. All's Fair logs the biggest Hulu originals scripted debut in 3 years, despite negative reviews. I was actually really excited for this show because of the cast.
You were.
I'm like, first of all, you have Tiana Taylor, Niecy Nash, Glenn Close, Naomi Watts, and then of course Sarah Paulson, who I love from American Horror Story and countless other things. And then you just have Kim Kardashian and all this, and I'm like, damn, I have to imagine if she's with this caliber of talent, she must be pretty damn good. So to hear in these reviews, like regardless, I've heard that she's pretty stiff. I heard she's basically like herself. Like it doesn't seem like there's layers at all to her. Not that when I think Kim Kardashian, I don't think, oh yeah, she's a great I don't think about that. I have not watched it. I canceled my Hulu membership when all the ABC stuff came out and I haven't gotten it back. And I have 1,800 subscriptions, so I don't feel I need to get Hulu again.
Yeah, it does make you wonder. I forgot that I was actually looking at videos and clips of Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party.
She looks incredible.
Well. And somebody was talking and it was a comedy video, but they're like, say what you want. She looks amazing. All of her kids are rich, even the lazy ones, and they're all attractive. And I'm looking at the picture and I was like, that's true though.
Do you know anything?
7 kids and she looks phenomenal.
But do
do
you know anything about the facelift that she got? That why she looks incredible? Do you know anything about this? The $1 million.
Listen, no.
But she looks.
It doesn't look bad. It doesn't
not
look
at all
plastic.
It looks authentic. Exactly. She doesn't look stretched she looks
amazing. I mean, there's a picture of her and just the females, like just the ladies, and she just looks like a sibling. She does not.
Oh my God,
If you were like pick out the mom, you might actually choose Courtney. I'm like, that's the only one I follow. You might actually choose Courtney because she has these like campy bangs, and you'd be like, she stands out.
Yeah, she
But
looks
I
like
mean,
she looks like the oldest
phenomenal.
sister. I have a weird relationship with the Kardashians. I used to love keeping up with the Kardashians in the early years because it was prime reality TV because it was not like what it is now. It was still like in the
Never
early years of
saw it.
reality TV, it was still raw. We still didn't really know like what they did. I remember the interview they did. I don't remember if it was Barbara Walters or Diane. I can't remember who it was, but the whole thing was, yeah, but what is your job? Like, you don't really have a talent. Like, I remember that being part of
Yeah.
in the conversation for a long time. Chloe was always my favorite. I was actually just reading also too about Kim Kardashian about Skims has a net worth of $5 billion.
Do you know there's one?
Opening at
there's one
Easton.
opening at Easton?
Mhm.
We were driving through there, and I
Yeah.
was like, wait, but this is the millionaire side. I was like, she's gonna be next to the Tiffany store and across from the. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. Well, it's yeah.
like
And,
David
I
Gearman
mean-
is like right next to her, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
And you know, Skims is gonna be their 7th retail brick and mortar location right here in Columbus,
Ohio.
Ohio. I was telling my best friend the other day, I was like, do you think Kim's gonna go to it? Because it's still small enough where she can do appearances. Like Apple used to do that. So the Apple Store here in Columbus, the very first one at Easton, I think that was either the 7th also or the 11th. I can't remember. And they like executives, like I can't remember if Steve Jobs went to that, but it made me think like, I wonder if Kim Kardashian's gonna come to Columbus, Ohio, and like, because it's still small, it's still an accomplishment. This is your 7th store. It's not like 350 where you can be like, okay, yeah, we're on that trajectory of opening stores like at a certain pace.
But I mean, it's still an accomplishment for her, but also I love Columbus, Ohio, because we get shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like we have enough consumers and enough demand and enough drive that we are getting consistently the 7th store of all these big things. It's such a big deal.
I can't remember where we rank currently. I think we're still. I think we dropped a point or something, but we're like. I think we're like the 12th largest metropolitan city in the country, and I think a lot of people. You know, here's the thing. I think Columbus. I love this city and. Because of its growth, and it's insane amount of growth that continues to have. Like it's just steady, rapid growth. But there's a ton of companies that are based here. We may or may not have used to work for one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of really big brands,
retail brands, banking.
There's a lot of money here.
I love when this happens because it brings a lot of attention to how like maybe like bigwigs look at Columbus, Ohio. Like okay, like we're doing shit.
People think of Ohio the way that I think of Nebraska or Iowa, like a flyover city. And I mean, we have 2 NFL teams, we have 2 Major League Baseball teams. And I'm like,
soccer, hockey.
Deal.
We do have, and then you have Ohio State football.
Ohio
I think
is
that's
a
our
super big deal.
I think when people think of Ohio, in addition to those things, they also think of Cleveland. I feel like is the one like big thing. Cincinnati maybe number 2, but when you say Columbus, not a lot of people
outside of Ohio State, really.
We have a badass city, and I used to hate Columbus because I was bitter, like 21-year-old when I first moved here. I love this city, and I hate people talk shit about it.
Well, I was born here, and I still love the city because even when I go to Ohio State, I'm like, when'd you guys get a Target? I remember when they put Chipotle on campus, and we were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go.
Even then, you go down there now, they did a whole new district that they've been building right now, and like it is just insane. And yeah, I love this city so much.
I love it. I love it so much. I said she had a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Also, your head. Wicked has an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm thinking about that because everything is all things Wicked right now.
As they should be.
I just watched the movie for the first time, which we are going to do a full debrief review on. So that's going to be so good. But do you feed into the whole Rotten Tomatoes thing? Do you actually
I do. I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. I think it's a metric that you can look at, of course. But, you know, like any like artistic expression, it's up to interpretation, right? There's a lot of movies I am like so obsessed with that were not, you know, critically acclaimed or did not get good reviews. But same thing with music, books, like people might not like them, but they might resonate with you. You know?
Well, I was unwinding with my nightly social media. And someone was like, you can't manifest without work, but the problem is we only think of work in one way. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I was like, keep talking. And she's like, what if you love movies? And so then you become a TV and film reviewer and then you're paid to do that. You're still working. And I was like, Dom is about to be paid to watch Housewives. I was like, oh my God.
That's to me and manifest that. That would be my dream.
Isn't that? and my dream is to be paid to read books. And I was like, we're doing it. And I just was so tickled by that. And I was like, but it doesn't feel like work because it's something you enjoy. We always think of work as that thing that you do and then you go on with the rest of your life. And I was like,
yeah,
we're actually doing. I was doing so like, I had chills. I was like,
because it's not even work at that. I don't want to work to live. I want to live to work.
Yeah.
And you can only do that when, and I like, this is no disrespect, and I've often said this to people, but like being like a secretary or working at like all these crucial jobs that we need, love that. I'm too much of a creative, like outside the box type thing. I learned that in our last job that we worked together. It's like, I'm not meant to be in a box. Oftentimes, maybe in a creative genre, whether it's being a writer or author, you write plays, screenplays, direct, podcasting, anything in all some sort of creative endeavor, you make your own rules. And in corporate culture, you have rules. They have to abide by the big brother that signs your paychecks. And I don't love that.
True. I've been putting my own spin on it in terms of like, think about Kim Kardashian, who we just talked about. She only got to 7 stores because she started the one. And so I'm like, you never know where it'll get. And
true.
You would be, you know what I mean? I'm like, you'd be lucky to be able to have 7 stores. And that doesn't even quantify her sales. And you're just like, yes, you are a big deal, but also you're still building her dream. And I'm like, wow. And now we get to build our dream. Like, I'm sure, I mean, I've never tried Skims. I'm sure they're great.
I love Skims.
Not the type of person to give a shit about a belly roll. Like, this is what my body looks like.
It's not even just shape or bras. It's like they have a whole men's line. Like the fabric, they have sweats and loungewear.
Okay.
It's like butter on your skin, but like not in a weird way. Like it is so good. You can, if you ever want to like even feel them or try them, they have them at Dick's actually, randomly.
No, I'm gonna wait and go to the store.
And they have at Nordstrom too.
So it's high end, like luxury.
It ain't.
Is it loungewear? Is it athleisure?
Yeah, I was listening to her on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she wanted to get into activewear for like working out, all that kind of stuff. And she said instead of figuring out like patenting like certain things, they're actually collaborating with Nike. I believe it's not like a capsule collection. I believe it will be like Nike by Skims or Skims by, I can't remember. It's one of those, but they'll be collaborating with Nike. And she did say, this is really interesting too. I learned this on the Call Her Daddy podcast episode that she was on. So back in the day, I don't know if you remember this, she had her own beauty brand, KKW Beauty.
Yes.
And I remember, I think they had it at Ulta. It was sold to a private equity firm. I think they dissolved it and it's not in stores anymore. And then she bought it back and owns full rights to it. And now it will be Skims Beauty.
So I remember she had the beauty line. I never used any of it, but she had a fragrance line.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. I still have the one. I might do a squirt once a month because it's so good. And you can only find it on eBay.
But they talked about, I want to say it was either a fragrance, or maybe it was actually a lip gloss. I don't remember. But they were talking about something that was discontinued, but like fans wanted so bad. And she's like, no, we're bringing it back. But they're bringing all like the good stuff back that was like highly successful and more so under it'll be Skims Beauty. I don't like what she said about the astronaut thing on her show. Apparently she doesn't believe that people walk the moon. So I'm like I hear shit like that. It drives me insane. So that aside, good for her. Acting might not be your thing, but you own a brand, very successful, and it most likely will have a lot of longevity to it. So you know what? Kudos to you, girl.
And what an amazing, not even problem, but conundrum to have, where your one successful brand is so big that you can bring back a prior successful brand, rebranded, and even to hear Nike.
Yeah.
Skims by Nike or Nike with Skims, even they are respecting you. Like you have.
Right, yeah.
But it makes me laugh because I remember when she wanted to become a lawyer and I'm like, why? For what? Like you already have all this other stuff. And it's like, maybe now she'll know more about her contracts. Maybe people look down on her in certain meetings and now she can negotiate those herself. Or also maybe just because she can. And that's okay too, because you know what? She's got the time and the resources to do it. So
that's true. I've heard mixed reviews about some lawyers of how they view the law in California. And I think you told me Wisconsin also has it where you can like an apprenticeship pretty much with a law firm.
Yeah, in California, if you apprentice, you'll get it. But that was how all old lawyers used to be, like 1800s. It was all just follow someone. Same with medicine. But in the state of Wisconsin, if you actually went to law school in Wisconsin, of which they only have one, you're automatically admitted to the bar. So what happens is, like, I went to law school in Louisiana. But the issue with that is I learned Louisiana law. So I can take the Louisiana bar, but if I move to Ohio, I then have to learn Ohio law. Like there is a federal bar, but it's not, your school's not going to teach you that.
Yeah.
So it's really hard because with her being in California, she can move somewhere else, but she's not going to be able to practice. Like,
I guess I never thought about
license
that.
only.
Yeah. I did learn that. So one of my favorite people on The View, Sunny Hostin, former federal prosecutor, legal eagle, if you will. And author. I love her. So I actually do love her so much. She was talking about that recently because they had some of the girls from All Is Fair was on, including Kim Kardashian. And they were talking about on the Behind the Table podcast, which is The View's podcast after the show. Her episode this past week, I believe, they're talking about Kim Kardashian not passing the bar exam. And Sunny she was talking about her law career. I don't know what the term you use, but license, I don't know. But she can practice law in 5 states, I guess you could say. So what, DC and then New York, and I don't remember all of them, but I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, I guess, yeah, that makes sense because different states have different law. And I never thought about that before because I'm like, well, why can't you just, you know, it was just so interesting because it's like, that's a commitment then, isn't it? Like if you go to law school in Massachusetts, then, okay, I guess you're going to stay there.
You're going to stay there. There's some states like Louisiana, you can waive into Texas after 5 years, but it's not automatic because, like, why would you do that? And also, their geography is so close that they have oil and gas rights, and it's probably going to be in Texas too. But, like, if you live in Florida and you move to Oregon, fuck all is the same, right? It's like completely
what that's like, which is very interesting. So, fun fact is, I really wanted to get my real estate license. And during COVID, I went to school, online school to obtain it. And I passed, and I never sat for the licensing exam. I kept putting it off to the point where they're like, I swear to God, I think I lost a number of times. I kept like rescheduling my exam. And then to the point where they told me you can't reschedule anymore. And then it just expired. And then when I moved to New York, I also went to school there, did not take the exam. So I keep spending money on going to school, not taking the exam. But similarly enough, there are certain states where you don't have to sit for the exam. There are certain states that have agreements basically with each other. So if you get licensed in Ohio, this is a pure example. I can't remember if this is true or not. If you get licensing in Ohio, you can automatically also sell in Kentucky. It's usually regional states.
Yeah, for law, it's called reciprocity. They'll give you reciprocity in different states. But it's a lot of people being upset that she's able to like waive in and all that. They're just gatekeeping because if you had a terrible time in law school and a really hard time to take the bar exam, I took an exam that was 3 days, 8 hours every day. And if you went through that and then somebody else doesn't have to, people don't think it's fair. But also technology is better and learning is different. And it's like, just because you suffer, why wouldn't you want it to be easier for the next generation of people? Like, maybe you don't want him to be your personal lawyer, but you shouldn't say because I had to walk 20 miles to go to school, you have to. Like, it doesn't make sense. So.
I think that makes sense. And like in Sunny Hostin, she supported Kim and like, okay, good for you, you're gonna be a great lawyer. But her personal opinion is these are not her words, but in essence, it's like cheating the system to a certain extent. It's like, okay, well, all of us had to do all this fucking work and spend all this money going to law school, doing this grinding. And then you just have people, and not to say that it's any less hard, it's just in a different way that it's just as difficult, I'm imagining. But it's, I can see where maybe someone that's been like a lawyer that's practicing law and they're like, well, fuck, like that's not fair. Like I had to do all this shit and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to law school, and this lady is just like, and I'm sure her privilege helped, but
absolutely. I mean, the one thing and the last thing, because I could talk about this literally for hours, I have a lawyer podcast.
She sure does.
But the ironic thing is, you get out of school, you take the bar exam, which of course is not free.
Of course not. Why? Gee,
do it and
shocking.
All of that. But then you show up at law firm if you're lucky to have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know anything. You only know law school. So you're starting over from scratch anyway. If you already know how a certain office practices, she actually would hit the ground running faster than a law
That's a good point, actually. I never thought about that.
Because she actually has day-to-day practice
experience, like
doing the stuff.
in the environment. You know what? You could argue that point being, I never went to college because I just thought, you know what? I struggled in school to begin with. School was never my thing. But on top of that, you're like, well, you're not guaranteed a job, for one. And two, especially as I got older and I meet lots of people that did graduate from school, it's like the simplicity in my brain when I just think of, like, I think of everything in facts, like, okay, 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4. In my mind, I'm like, okay, you go to school to study business administration, whatever that means, psychology. Okay, that's all well and great. And you're going to know terms and equations.
Right. Are you a psychologist now?
You're not like, I know fucking everything. Everyone has to train. Doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. Like, there is, like, whether it's learning how the office flows or how this industry works and how school can only tell you, how to solve the equation. You get there into the real world. It's like, you still have to your point, learn the thing that you're doing. So so in my mind, I always thought, like, okay, well, I might not get my foot in the door because of the diploma, but I know how, like, real life works, and that's kind of that's a very good point that you just made. I never thought about. Like, well, she actually will know how a law firm works because she's doing it.
She will, yes. So,
but Grammy nominations came out.
Yes,
and I'm excited because I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan, and that's all I care. I love all the people nominated, and there's some really good stuff in here. But my very favorite and beloved Lady Gaga is nominated for 7 nominations this year.
And my beloved Kendrick Lamar is nominated for
who's leading nominations with 9 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's going to be an interesting night because they have a lot of overlap in categories, and in particular, the biggest one of the show, which is Album of the Year. Yes. Which Beyonce won last year. We love.
I know. Well, the thing with Kendrick Lamar, a lot of people have enjoyed his music, but they're just like, oh, I don't feel like thinking. I just want to dance and bop to the music. Yeah. So this album was a dance and bop to the music, and then you sit down and you're like, he just fucking taught me something.
Well, so that's the best kind of music.
His winning formula, and it is actually being, like, critically acclaimed on a broader scale, even to where he was able to do the Super Bowl, and so even for that, like, he would probably say, I appreciate the award, but if I didn't get any of them, just you nominating a poet for 9 awards is enough, because he's people are listening who weren't listening.
And to be honest, the people that get into this category often, like, I could say the same thing about Lady Gaga, who has, I lost count of how many Grammys that she actually has won. She's the same thing. Like, all her music, she doesn't write just like pop music. It is, there is so much thought into every lyric of every word, every thought process, every music video. And those oftentimes, to your point, where she can make great pop music, but you have sometimes when you go and dive into the lyrics, you're like, fuck. Like,
right. That's what I was singing? Oh,
yeah. Or you feel connected because you realize, okay, this song is about, this deep subject or whatever. Yeah. And to me, that's the best kind of music when you can combine the both. So I'm really excited. Bad Bunny also nominated. He actually ties with Kendrick Lamar with 9 nominations. Love Bad Bunny. But I have to be honest with you. Sorry, guys. Mayhem I love her album Mayhem. I love Lady Gaga. I'm biased. That's fine. I want her to win all 7, including, and I think from different critics, like music critics and like content critics that I hear, she's definitely a front runner in Album of the Year in terms of possibilities. Like, there's some that you kind of go like, okay, you're not going to get it. She's definitely one, and I hope she gets it. Sorry,
I would love to see her do a Super Bowl again, because all of these big stars
I loved her Super Bowl performance.
But it's like their catalog has grown so much, you can definitely come back. You know what I mean? You can definitely do another one.
Oh, I think so too. And
her show was so good.
So I love her.
I would love to see Dancing Until I'm Dead.
That's what I mean. I'm like, there's so much more. And I think, like, when you have such discography and you keep pumping out music, it's like, or maybe combined acts. I don't know. That could be kind of cool. Yeah. So the other thing in music, Well, first, Hilary Duff released a new song. Her first entry back into music since 2015. She released an album that I actually really liked. But, and I love Hilary Duff. I just think she's so stunning and beautiful. I love Lizzie McGuire. I'm such a Disney kid, like that generation of Disney. But you know how much I love Katy Perry. And I'm always going to be, I feel like I'm an ambassador to Katy Perry because I hate how much negativity she gets because I just think people enjoy to hate her.
Yeah.
But last Thursday, she released arguably one of my favorite, is one of my favorite songs of her whole discography. It's called Bandaids.
Yeah.
It's about basically her and her relationship with Orlando Bloom. And it is so good. I love the music video.
I haven't seen the video.
It is so good, and there's a lot of Easter eggs in it. So like, you see, there's a lot of hidden meanings. Or someone did a deep dive when I was reading it about all the meanings behind like all these actions throughout the video. But there was a scene towards the end where the lyric is roughly, I'm trying to remember what it was, but so her foot gets stuck in train tracks and a train is coming. And those lyrics are going like, I would do this all over again. And she looks up, it's all these rocks, and there's a daisy coming out of it. And Daisy is the name of her daughter. So it's signaling like it was all worth it because I got my daughter.
But we got my daughter.
Exactly. And so like, I just love her and I get goosebumps. So Katy Perry in the past decade, I would say, sadly, has had an interesting career. I love her music. Not all of it is great, but all of her albums, there's music I like on it. But this is the first song, and they say it's been a decade that's been critically acclaimed. And I'll just read a couple reviews because as the ambassador to Katy Perry and Katy Cats. So, for instance, Rolling Stone said that Katy Perry isn't letting heartbreak break her. Instead, she's telling her story the way she knows best. The pop queen released her single Bandaids, a surprise mid-tour breakup song. Variety said, in the video, Perry finds a moment of calm amid the anxiety of her near-death encounters when she spots a white daisy growing from the ground, another symbol reflecting her real-life state of mind. People magazine said Katy Perry's embracing healing after heartbreak her way, and her humor shines as she goes on a final destination type journey of back-to-back near-death experiences, yet always surviving them. And then lastly, I'll say Billboard says Band-Aid serves as Perry's first solo single of 2025 as she displays emotional vulnerability while looking back on her journey in the spotlight. So I'll just say, go stream Band-Aids. It's a classic Katy Perry song. I feel like we're going back to her roots, and I love it so much. And I think everyone should listen to it. I've listened to it maybe like 20 times a day.
I think she's definitely going back to her roots, and especially because people have kind of stopped being that vulnerable in their music. I know we just talked about Lady Gaga and Kendrick Lamar, but it often takes you a long time to get the public to enjoy that because they're just like, I might be feeling it, but I don't want to hear it all the time.
Yeah.
So I think Katy kind of lost a little bit of that when she did go super, super pop, which I don't think is fair because we have days when we're down, we have days when we're up.
Yeah.
A pop artist can definitely do both because people experience all emotions. But I love that she trusted herself enough to do the vulnerability and to just share it because like everyone has had that rip the Band-Aid moment.
Yeah.
Regardless of the relationship, and to have been married and been with someone for any amount of time, if you got a child out of that and that was what you wanted, is a beautiful thing. And I love that people aren't afraid to like start over and do the uncomfortable thing. I absolutely love it. I was just watching the movie Troy. Fun fact, I could probably watch that movie every day.
Really?
Orlando Bloom is in there. And I was just
I know. Well, I didn't realize that he cheated on her. And there's like a scene in there where it represents like I guess there was a coffee shop or a cafe that she found out that she took like this woman there. And I will say there's a lyric in there that strikes with me like every time I listen to it. It's like kind of the bridge towards the end of the song, and she, it's not that complicated to ask me how my day is. I'm flatlining trying to save this, and I'm just like, and actually I just read online today that Billboard named her top 15 of one of the best like songwriters of the decade. Yeah. Or of the last, I can't remember like the time frame, but she's like one of the best songwriters, and she writes all her own music. And to your point too, like I don't think it is fair. Like Britney Spears, that was her whole career. Like she had there were songs within her like catalog that are deeper than others. It was all fun. It made you connect to music in a different way, where it was like you didn't have to think. It was just, let's dance and have fun, and you didn't have to be vulnerable. But sometimes when we're depressed, we don't need to always listen to like sad Adele songs. Sometimes we just want to like dance to something fun and sexy and whatever, and get highly criticized for things that I don't think are really fair, and who knows even why. I will also say too, like, she has a documentary that came out, Part of Me, which I think is so good. It tracked her journey through her first like world tour, which I saw. It was my first Katy Perry concert, the California Dreams tour. It's when she was married to Russell Brand, and there was a scene at the end where it was like one of her it was the concert, and basically they announced that they're getting divorced, and you see the scene of her like in the back in the dressing room, she's bawling her eyes out, and they're like, Katie, we can cancel the show if you think you need to. And it goes silent, and she goes, I think she talks to her makeup artist, and she's like, okay, let's do it. So and so, I can't remember. And does her makeup, and you see her like in her very campy outfit. Like she started the concert off with this like peppermint candy outfit, and like she had these like peppermints on her boobs, and they spun like very campy Katy Perry. And there she is. She's on the like underneath the stage, getting ready to open the show, where she rises from the stage, and she's crying, and you see her she puts up her microphone up, and she like puts a smile on, and you see her rise up. And I'm like, that is some badass shit. Like, your marriage just fell apart, you're getting divorced, you're crying literally seconds before a sold out show.
Because you have to go to work. We do that every day. You have a shitty night, and you have to go to work.
Yourself to show up.
Like, and so I think back in the day, right, you and I are old school. Britney and them, we didn't want them to be complicated. We wanted to have the relief from that because our lives were complicated. And now it's like, oh, wow, you can have emotions like me. You can be 41 years old, but you're just on a stage, but that's not my life. It doesn't make me insecure. It makes me say, wow, look at your choices and look at where you are. Like, I feel closer to you knowing that you can go through the same shit and you still go to work. Because guess what? If I don't go to work because my heart's broken, I'm not disappointing a stadium full of people. Yeah. So I think it actually is stronger for us to see them as humans. Because it's like, they got a lot of shit on the, like, can you imagine what her breach of contract clause would be if she didn't go? Get out of here. Yeah. I mean, maybe she could make Russell Brand pay for that because, like, he was the cause, but, like, there's more to it. But
that's so layered. Yeah. And to your point, too, I will say this, like, you mentioned it before, like, when you're talking about Kendrick Lamar, like, it is such a talent when you can combine dance, good, fun music with so much depth to it. Beyonce also does that, is a prime example. Like, listen to Renaissance. It would the inspiration by the whole album was something, I don't know if it was inspired by a deep subject, not so much like it can be kind of depressing, I suppose, when you think about it. But she decided to take, like, obviously inspiration from the queer community of, like, especially like queer people of color, in those like dance ballroom, like discos, like back in the day when they were highly, even worse. Well, in a way, it's reversed back in a certain sense. But she took my meaning, like a deep theme and subject matter, and created one of her best albums. And it was all moving our asses and dancing and celebrating culture. And that takes true talent when you can do that, when it has depth and vulnerability, but also where you can dance and sing it loud and proud. And that there's not every artist can do that successfully.
No, I listen to Renaissance now, like I'll pick a song for like a video and I'm still like, oh my gosh, it was so good. But even Lemonade,
oh my god,
was beyond. Like, I just watched the whole visual album the other day and I was like, this was so fucking good. So good.
True talent.
Yeah, it's a true talent. You don't get that often. You can be a talented musician, and that is still another level. That's still another level.
And that's why Beyonce won Album of the Year last year. So
I know. So you said you're the ambassador to Katy Perry.
Yeah.
The show that I just binged was The Diplomat on Netflix with Carrie Russell.
I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see that. Did you like it? No, you did. Maybe. Okay, you did. I
Very
want to see them.
good. And then when I went to watch Wicked, I saw that Amazon Prime is replaying all of Felicity. So
That is so random.
well, it's the same actress, and I was just like,
I
oh
guess
my
yeah,
God, I
yeah,
love
that's
her.
true.
And so she's always sandwiched between two guys, and do I want this one? Do I want that one? And I remember wanting to go to college and be like, will college be like that? And I get into college and I had a single, like I didn't have any roommate assigned to me, and I was like, no, this is where I be like. But like those were all the shows I watched coming of age, and I was just like, oh my God. Of course, I love Scott Speedman, but Scott Foley, who plays a big love interest in Scandal, he's with Olivia Pope for seasons, and I'm just like, it's so amazing and heartbreaking that all of my like teenage buddies are getting older, but I'm exactly the same.
Right, yeah.
And you're just like, how? If you watched any of it, you'd be like, bitch, this is Gilmore Girls. What are you talking about? But I think at that age, it was probably like,
I probably would like it.
I probably just missed it. Because I talked to my husband Theo about that. I just missed Harry Potter. Because he's like, you didn't read the books. I was like, I was in college then. I just missed it. And I'm like, no, I was not taking what spare time I had
to read Harry Potter.
All right, you guys. This was fun.
It was fun.
I love to switch up our routine. It's great to talk to you in person, but it's fun to switch it up.
You know what? That's what we have these tools. You might as well use them sometimes.
You might as well. So, all right, everybody.
All right, friends. Thank you so much. Go listen to Bandaids by Katy Perry, streaming on all platforms. Not sponsored.
But he is the ambassador to Katy.
I am the self-proclaimed ambassador to all things Katy Perry. So, love you, Katy Perry, if you ever come across this.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys. Can you hold on 1 second?
Yeah.
I ordered food and they're here. I'll be right back. Why do you have those around?
Not in the basement. Look at how young we are.
You look so corporate.
That was definitely lawyer time. So I was definitely like,
yeah.
I'm a strict, important person.